Hi friends. I saw my friend Jules Jacobson posted on her TikTok the other day like things about her life that are also, I just have to preface, this light, I'm obsessed with it. I got it on Amazon to do my makeup, but it makes my teeth look yellow, which I don't love. I just had to say that because if I don't say it, then I'm gonna stare at them the whole time. She posted this video and it was like things about my life that aren't perfect right now, and I like loved the idea of that because I do feel like you get in the habit of like sharing your highlight reel, or at least I do, and there are a lot of things about my life that are less than perfect right now, so I thought I would do a little video about that while I get ready because I have to put makeup on to shoot a few campaigns today. First and foremost, the number one thing, my closet is a mess right now. I had friends here visiting last week and I'm just like living with like the cleanup of like having visitors and like borrowing clothes and like all of that. Not that it's on them, it's like totally on me. I'm just like, just toss it in there, we'll deal with it later. And I always in my head have this idea that like your feng shui, your finances, and your food, like your eating habits, are all like interconnected. And I saw a girl post about this on TikTok the other day, and I've always like thought this, like it's something that I've realized with age, like those things are like intrinsically connected, and when one of them is like out of whack, the other ones, it's easy to be out of whack too. Like when you're only eating fast food and you're like not paying attention to how much money you're spending and like your space is a complete mess, like that's when I'm like the worst version of myself. And usually if I can get one of those things together, it's easier to get the other ones together too. So my plan today after shooting is to clean my closet and also to pay all of my bills and to go grocery shopping because I'm really trying to eat at home after eating out a bunch last week when everyone was in town, which was so fun, but there's no reason to do that when I'm here alone, which brings me to the second thing in my life that's less than perfect right now. My roommate, Una, is dating a beautiful British man, and they are traveling around the UK together right now, London and Bristol and Wales. It's literally like something out of a rom-com, I swear. And she is like having her best. Also, number two should be that I'm kind of sick right now. I definitely have a cold. After the Mod and May dinner on Friday, I actually flew to Dallas on Saturday. I didn't even post about it because I was there for less than 24 hours for my cousin's wedding, and I think I got a cold, so I don't know what the deal is with that, but if I sound congested, that's why. But the second thing, Una is living her best British life, and it's literally the cutest thing ever, and I'm here by myself all week, which honestly has been kind of nice after like being with people every second of every day all of last week. But I do feel like I'm very happy for the most part, like being single. I don't often think about like the fact that I'm single. Like I don't know, I feel like there are some people that are like, I'm the single friend, or like I'm this or I'm that, and I don't really think of my friends in that way. Like I feel like a lot of my friends are in relationships, a lot of my friends are not in relationships. I don't really like feel like the single friend, or I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't feel like a label to me. It just feels like my life, and I've been so good about dating for the past 2 years. Honestly, until my last relationship, for my whole life, I was always in like really healthy, great long-term relationships. Like long-term meaning like every relationship I was in was like a year and a half. I've had like 4 or 5 serious boyfriends, and then the last like 2 years I've just been so good about dating and like bopping around and like trying new things on, and it's been so fun. But I will say, for the first time in a long time, and I think one, being in New York and it feeling more like Christmas time and just like the holidays being more amplified, I have felt like a little lonely. And like there's so many like little silly activities that I've never really had this thought before, but like it would be so nice to have a boyfriend. Like there have been so many small instances where I was like, oh my god, like it'd be so nice to have like a buddy to do this with, and not like a friend buddy, like a romantic buddy. So I don't know, that thought has crept in a little more than I'd say more than normal, but more than it ever has before lately. So that's just something I've been like kind of taking account of. I'm like, interesting that that's like where my brain goes lately. Another thing that's less than perfect is that everyone was doing their makeup in here and somehow my Ilia bronzer disappeared, and I'm pretty upset about it because I love that stuff and I don't know where it went. I also like don't really have any interest in dating right now, meaning like through the end of the year. I feel like it's a really busy time of year, and I just like am not in the mood to go on first dates or like make small talk with people I don't know. So I'm kind of planning on picking that back up after the new year, because for the time being I like seriously cannot be bothered. Also, something that is less than perfect but is just embarrassing is I was doing a Q&A on my Instagram story and I accidentally posted my address, and my friend Alex, bless him, 2 minutes later was like, your address is in that URL. It's like really tiny, you can barely see it, but like it's there. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I deleted it and I felt embarrassed. Also, something I've noticed, it's so much easier to be embarrassed when you're by yourself. When I was in New York for the first like 3 weeks before Una got here, like going to buy furniture and like dragging stools home alone in the city is like, it feels so embarrassing, which is so silly. Like, it's only embarrassing if you choose to be embarrassed, but like I was feeling vulnerable and I chose to feel embarrassed because dragging a bunch of stools like through the city or like having to carry furniture on the subway, like it's humiliating when you're by yourself. But when you're with a buddy, like nothing is embarrassing. Like if I'm with a friend, I can do anything. Like I will scream in the streets, like I will be myself. But when I'm alone, for some reason, it just feels like so silly having to do stuff alone. Other things about my life that are less than ideal, I'm like obsessed with Mod in May. Like I love it so much, but the thing about like running your own business is like it doesn't exist if you don't do it, which like sounds obvious. Like, of course, Talia, it's your business, but like truly like if I'm not posting on Instagram, or like I do fulfillment myself, like I am packing orders. I don't know if people know that. Like I think sometimes because like of the branding, it looks like a little more like legit or bigger than it is, but like I am truly doing everything and like running everything, and it's awesome and I love it so much. But like I'm doing product development, trying to think of like what cool like colors and trends and products are going to be cool like summer of 2024 and like fall and winter of 2024. I'm also doing like all of the social media, all the influencer relations, all the PR, like sending packages to people, like all of the finances, like knowing like the wholesale price, or knowing like the production price, like the wholesale price. Like if I want to get it in more stores, like this is what I need the production price to be, and like deciding how many units is like reasonable. And like it's all this stuff that I'm gonna be honest, I know nothing about. And like I'm lucky enough to have like family and like friends where I can be like, what do you think of this? And they are smart enough to deduce with me what I should and shouldn't be doing. But still, like there is definitely no blueprint for running a business, and it's overwhelming at times. And sometimes I'm like, why am I doing this? But then I get like the nicest messages from people being like, these are so beautiful and they brought me so much joy. And like, okay, you're being ridiculous. This is a cool thing that you're doing, and there's so much room for it to like evolve and grow. But yeah, anyway, that's just also been on top of mind lately because it's been like a lot of work, and honestly like a lot of money. And if this isn't cute enough, it's not going to sell, and then you're going to go under. And it's like, no, you're going to figure it out. You always do. You always have. So this kind of ties into the loneliness thing, but a little different, because I also think it's just like unique to my age. I'm 28, which I feel like people are always surprised. And honestly, since I've moved to New York, I've gotten that I'm like 23 like so many times, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I can't figure out if it's like I look 23 or I carry myself like I'm younger. I don't know what it is. Anyway, doesn't matter. Something that feels weird and unique to my age, and also kind of like plays into like the not being in a relationship right now. My dad lives in Los Angeles and my mom lives in Kansas City, and like flights to go home for Christmas to Kansas City are like $1,100, like ridiculously expensive. And I think I can find like cheaper ones for like $800, but I haven't done complete research, so just like take the numbers that I'm saying with a grain of salt. But the cheapest flight I've been able to find is like around $800, but they go all the way up to like $1,400. To get from here to JFK, the Uber is like $100. To get back, same, at $100. My mom has like a really tiny, not great car. She can't drive on the freeway, so I have to Uber when I get to Kansas City. That's like $80. Basically add like $360 onto my flight. So now we're like definitely over $1,000 to go home for Christmas. And I'm like, it's not that I can't afford it, but like, is it worth it to spend that much money to be home for like 3 days? I don't know is the answer. So I haven't booked anything yet, and I'm still trying to figure it out, and I might go home. But where my brain has been going lately, which again is like so unique and like not usually where my brain goes, is like, wow, it would be so nice to have a boyfriend and to be able to like bop upstate and just like have a little Christmas to ourselves, and like not have to worry about like being with family or being alone. Because, like, the alternative is me being here in New York alone, which, like, honestly wouldn't be the worst thing. Like, I'm pretty happy and content by myself. But, like, it's just the idea of, like, honestly, it's the idea of telling people that I'm alone on Christmas. Like, I don't mind actually being alone, but being like, yeah, like, I spent Christmas by myself, I feel like people would be like, oh. So, I feel like that's life, though, lately. It's, like, it's not actually the act. It's more, like, the response that you get of people, like, pitying you. Because that's the worst feeling in the world for me. I don't like that. So yeah, that's been a weird thing lately. And also, like, Hanukkah starts tomorrow on Thursday, and that's weird, like, not being, like, with family, like, for that. And there was no way I was gonna be able to, like, casually bop over to LA. But yeah, it's just weird vibes, man. Weird vibes. And, like, wouldn't trade it for anything. Wouldn't want to be in the wrong relationship or just, like, be with someone for the sake of being with someone. But for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm like, oh, I can see why people partner up. I get the bit. I just thought of something else that's been less than ideal lately. I have been the world's worst texter for the past month, like, really bad. Like, I think I have over 400 unread text messages right now, and maybe some of those are group chats or, like, silly things that I, like, didn't need to respond to, so maybe we'll say, like, 300 of them are reasonable. But even so, 300 texts, like, Talia. And it's so bad because, like, they start adding up, and then I just avoid my text messages, like, all, like, entirely. Okay, I'm almost done, and I feel like I should end this on things about my life that have rocked, because there's a lot of good stuff, too. The Modern May dinner rocked. The giant bow, the hanging ornaments, all the cutie things. I love a DIY project. I had so much fun putting it together. That was great. All the girls that came were so lovely and nice and kind, and, like, it was just good vibes. It was a really fun way to, like, kick off the holiday season. I had it in my head that I wanted to do that party on that date for months. Like, I was like, December 1st in New York, it's gonna be a vibe, and it ended up being so cute. Also, I just noticed my phone, like, slowly like, fell this whole time. Oops. Okay, I think that will stay. Other things that have rocked lately, Tavern on the Green was so cute. We went there before we went to go see the Nutcracker, which also rocked. If you need a cute spot in New York for a holiday dinner, I cannot recommend it enough. It was adorable. All of their Christmassy decorations right now are so cute. And then the Nutcracker, the Lincoln Center, it was like a really short walk away. So that whole evening was like a dream. Having my friends in town, like, I'm so lucky to have friends that, like, want to come visit and will come visit. It felt like such a treat to have them in town and to be able to, like, bop around and do holiday things together. Also, just New York right now is magical. I haven't gotten to experience the seasons, like, fully in 10 years since I was in high school. And you walk outside and they're, like, selling Christmas trees down the street and there are lights up everywhere, and it's just, like, really freaking cute. So that part does rock. My apartment freaking rocks. I'm not even gonna lie, it's awesome and I'm obsessed with it, and I genuinely think this move was so much easier because I'm a homebody, to have such a great space. I feel so lucky to have found it. Am I paying an arm and a leg? Sure. Is it worth it? Absolutely, for me right now. I've been pretty good about, like, going on walks and meditating and listening to podcasts and journaling, and, like, I'm trying to get more disciplined in my habits. I guess that would be another part of my life that sucked, that I feel like I've just gotten better at this week. But trying to be more disciplined in my, like, morning routine, it's kind of like an uphill battle, but once you, like, get into it, you really get into it, and I do feel like it, like, really affects my mood every day. So a part that sucked that is now starting to rock. Add a little lip, call it a day. One more thing that rocks, I'm obsessed with this lip plumper. My friend Derek and his boyfriend Emmett, it's their company and they do such a good job. I don't know what is in this. I feel like I got immune to lip plumper. Like, it doesn't work on me anymore because I was so addicted to it for so many years. But this one, it works. It's so good. It's called Chatty. It's amazing. The last thing that's less than perfect, my camera was not charged. I thought I charged the battery all night and it wasn't plugged in, so I filmed this on my phone. Quality content coming live for Manhattan. Not live, but I am gonna try and edit this and post it, like, right now. So, okay, that's all. I love you. Bye.